the testament of our father Adam. For those of you who may not have seen this, it looks something like this, the testament of our father Adam, and it has only about 4 chapters, or at least the copy that we were reading, and today we'll discuss those 4 chapters. So the first two chapters talk about the different activities that happen during the night and during the day. So the first chapter talks about the hours of the night, and then the second chapter talks about the hours of the day. And what I've got here on the screen is just a summary of those 2 chapters. I'll walk you through what activities go on in terms of the spirit realm, and we can get into some discussion. So let me just guide you on what this chart is showing, this chart that I put together. Over here, you've got the activities happening, and here in the middle, it's the hour. So in the text, it describes in the first hour of the night, the praise of the demons is going on. And then in the first hour of the day, which is this right side that's in blue, in the first hour of the day, the petition of the heavenly ones. But then I put for you what the time is according to our the way we keep time. So the first hour is translated as 7. So if it's at night, think of that as 7 p.m. If it's the daytime, think of that as 7 a.m. in the morning. So these numbers here are going to guide you as to what time we're talking about in terms of the way we keep time in modern day. All right, so let's get right into it. During the first hour of the night, the demons are praising. And I'm contrasting that with the first hour of the day. It's the petition of the heavenly ones. And then during the second hour, you have the praise of the doves. That's in the night. And in the daytime, it's the prayer of the angels. Then the praise of the fish and of fire and of all lower depths happens at the third hour, which is around 9 o'clock at night. But 9 a.m., the praise of the birds. At the fourth hour, which is around 10 p.m., you have the holy, holy praise of the seraphim. In contrast, during the day, at 10 a.m., is the praise of the beasts. And then at 11 a.m., or the 5th hour of the night, you have the praise of the waters that are above heaven. So the waters above heaven are actually praising. And then here you have the praise of that which is above, of the waters that are, which is above heaven during the day also. During the 6th hour, which is what we would call midnight, you have the construction of clouds and of the great fear, which comes in the middle of the night. So if you ever wondered why you're afraid of the dark when you're little, or maybe when you're a grown adult, it's because at midnight, that's when the clouds and the fear, which comes in the night, are put together. At midday, we have the praise of the cherubim, who plead against the iniquity of our human nature. They're pleading against our iniquity. Then at 1 p.m. or 1 a.m., at 1 a.m., which is the 7th hour, we have the viewing of the powers while the waters are asleep. I don't know exactly what the viewing means. I hope somebody will have some insight into that. But pay attention to what happens at 1 p.m. during the day. This is the entry and exit from the presence of the Most High. We're going to look at that in detail. What exactly enters and what exits from his presence. But that's 1 p.m. For us. Very important. Then at 2 a.m., which is the 8th hour, the sprouting of the grass of the earth. This is when the plants are growing and the dew is also descending onto the ground. Then you have at 2 p.m. our time during the day, we have the praise of fire and of the waters. And then at 3 a.m., we have the praise of the cherubim. At the same time during the day at 3 p.m., sorry, that was 3 a.m., the praise of the cherubim. We have the entity of those angels who stand before the throne of His Majesty. Another major one is here. Another major one is here. At the 10th hour, this is 4 a.m. 4 a.m. If you're finding yourself waking up at that time for some reason, I would say even between 3 and 5. But anyway, 4 a.m., the praise of human beings. The praise of human beings. That's 4 a.m. 4 p.m., we have the visitation of the waters. Visitation of the waters. When the Spirit descends, this is the Spirit of the Most High, descends and broods upon the waters and upon the fountains. We'll also look at this a bit more in detail. You see what else goes on there. And then at 5 a.m., the 11th hour, there is joy in all the earth. Lots of joy. When the sun rises from paradise. I read a little bit more about this paradise in this book. So there's a lot of joy in the earth when the sun rises from paradise and the sun shines forth upon creation. In contrast, at 5 p.m., there's exaltation and joy of the righteous, Okay, 5 p.m. Then at 6 a.m., we have the waiting for incense. The priests burn incense to his divinity. Yeah, we might need to look at that one a little bit more. I had some questions too. But at 6 p.m., the entity of human beings for the gracious will of the Most High, the Lord of all. Okay, let's look a little bit more into some of these items that I highlighted here. I think I want to talk about this one here, 4 a.m., the 10th hour, and probably also 2 from here, the entry, which is 1 p.m., and probably this one at 4 p.m. Let's see. Okay. So this is the 10th hour, highlighted in green. It says the 10th hour is the praise of human beings, and the gate of heaven is opened through which the prayers of all living things enter, and they worship and depart. And at that hour, whatever a man will ask of the Most High is given to him when the seraphim and all the roosters beat their wings. This is 4 a.m. That is 4 a.m. Okay? The praise of all human beings and the gates of heaven open, and all the prayers of all living things enter, they worship and depart, and at whatever is asked for at that time, it will be granted. All right, let's look at, so that was 4 a.m. Now let's look at the 7th hour, which is 1 p.m. 1 p.m., 1 in the afternoon, during the day. The 7th hour is the entry and exit from the presence of the Most High, when the prayers of all living things enter and they worship and depart. Okay, so it's like the same activity that was happening at 4 a.m. is now happening at at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Let me point out this. Doesn't mean that if you're praying out of those hours, that your prayers are not going to be heard. It just specifies in both of these texts that this is when the prayers of all the living things enter. Same thing here. The prayers of all living things enter. So pray at all times, but just be aware that that is when the prayers enter into the presence of the Most High. However, this statement here does say that whatever you ask for at this hour, it will be granted. So if you can sacrifice some sleep and wake up at that time and pray, or if you're waking up to pray about something, please do. That is my understanding of it. Now let's go to the 10th hour of the visitation. This is 4 p.m. 4 p.m. in the afternoon. The 10th hour is the visitation of the waters, when the Spirit descends and broods upon the waters and upon the fountains. And if the Spirit of the Lord did not descend and brood upon the waters and upon the fountains, human beings would be injured, and everyone the demons saw, they would injure. And at that hour, the waters are taken up, and the priest of God mixes them with consecrated oil and anoints those who are afflicted, and they are restored and healed. So we see the Spirit of the Most High interceding for us at that time. Just thought to highlight that as well. All right.
So Isaiah now is our high priest. So when we talk about the hours of prayer, and there's hours that our prayers are sent to heaven. In Revelation, it says that the vials were given to Isaiah because he's our high priest. So he presents our prayers before Tatan Zambi at the hour. So whenever, it doesn't matter when you pray, and these prayers go into a vial, and our high priest will present them to the Father in the order that it is supposed to be presented. He said the veil ripped when the Most High, when Isaiah died, that gave us access 24/7 to pray, to come before him with our petition. So when the hour is come, our high priest will present our prayers in vials to the Most High.